Hi, I'm Bea from the local Alzheimer Society. Today we're going to take a look at some of the volunteer opportunities as well as some of our services and programs. Up first, we're going to take a look at our afternoon expressions, which is a paint afternoon which combines mental and social stimulation. Let's take a look.
Afternoon Expressions is a paint afternoon here at our local Alzheimer's Society. People are able to come in, work at their own pace. It is a fun, safe, social atmosphere where we believe that the disease is left at the door. Everybody walks in, they're created equally, everybody's working, doing what they want to do. What they want to put on the painting is completely up to them. We're just here to assist.
There's been a lot of research done on the benefits of the arts for individuals with dementia, particularly in recent years. And a lot of this research has shown very similar findings, specifically that getting people with dementia or memory loss involved in the arts because of the focus on what they're able to do and the new learning, giving them opportunity for new learning, builds their confidence, creates a really strong sense of self and achievement and accomplishment.
At first, Dad was a little hesitant because he had never painted before. But coming in here, walking through the doors of the Alzheimer's Society, the Alzheimer's Society staff and the painting instructors are always so welcoming and kind, and he's always really happy to see them. And every time we come here, Dad and I both learn something new. I really feel that every mark of color that my dad puts on his canvas is a brush stroke that he's taken to be treasured.
Some of the benefits of people participating, both the care partner and the person with dementia, they get to come into a safe, fun atmosphere to express themselves whatever way they want. And we're able to provide refreshments and snacks so people can take breaks whenever they want. They can walk around, they can view other people's pictures as they're painting, and socialize. Like, that's how they develop their friendships when they leave here. And even over the past year that we've run this program, we've noticed relationships developing and friendships happening because it's all the same people that keep enjoying coming back. And they're spreading the word, so we get some new people coming in, and then they get to get involved with the fun that we have here in the afternoons.
Making art and looking at art is fun. It's fun for people, and once they get over their initial shyness about it, I think they come here and they see that people are having fun, and it's a very welcoming, open space and an open program that, you know, people are coming into the program smiling and excited to get their hands messy and just to play with some of the colors and the material. There's always a lot of laughter.
And we developed the idea through some of the nursing home or the retirement homes and the day away programs, because Chris, the instructor, drops in, visits them, so we got their contact information, asked if they would be willing to come here and paint with us and some of our clients. They jumped on board. They fully believe the importance of art therapy and people expressing themselves creatively, and just love being a part of it.
Dad really enjoys coming here. Dad liked to do some carpentry work, so we used to work with really intricate machines to make wooden furniture and saunas and birdhouses. So coming here is a really good creative outlet for him. He finds it very calming, and he also really concentrates, especially he likes to pay attention to the fine detail in his artwork.
We feel that it allows our clients to open up in a different way. They are allowed to express themselves on their creative side plus their social side, and it gets them out of the house doing something with their care partner. And then after the fact, it gives them something to talk about. So it could be a week down the road, their painting could be up in the home, and they'd be like, oh, well, remember we went and did that, or that was such a fun afternoon, why don't we do it again? So it gives them something else to talk about and lead into other conversations.
I really find that this program strengthens the relationship that my dad and I have. I sit right next to my dad while he's doing his painting. I try to always encourage him. And like the paint instructors say, there's no wrong and there's no right. Just let your creative juices flow. In a past session, Dad had a few little black marks at the top of his painting, and he said, "Oh, we've got to get that off." And I said, "You know what, let's make that into tiny little birds." And he really liked it.
A lot of times, individuals who are participating in programs such as Afternoon Expressions will discover that they actually love the arts, and this gives them an opportunity to get back out into the community and perhaps visit a gallery or a museum and to go with their loved ones, whereas prior to that they might not have even considered that as something to do for a social outing. It gives them an opportunity to pursue a new interest or rediscover a new interest and pursue it beyond the few hours that they spend here in Afternoon Expressions. And it's, again, something they can share with friends and loved ones, so that creates that reconnection with their more immediate social community as well as the wider community as well.
I love my family life with Dad, and I would like to keep it that way. He's very happy, and the time that we spend together, that's my mission. I really want him to be happy, and this is a way of creating a little bit of happiness for him.
Over the past year that we've offered the program, we've had people who used to paint, who somewhat painted, or who have never painted in their lives. So it gives them that opportunity, especially the newcomers. So once they come here, they develop the appreciation for art. They're able to go down to the art gallery or different places, and then that gives them something that they can talk about as they're out in the community, kind of relate it back to what they've painted, maybe something they may want to try in the future. And because it's so individualized here, Chris is able to help them. So if they come in, be like, "Oh, well, I seen this picture with trees," Chris can be like, "Oh, here, this is how you can paint the trees."
Today we're working on this really cute snowman scene that Chris has created for us. Dad's doing the male version of it, and he's really doing a great work on his fine detail. The first thing that he liked to do was fill in the eyes of the snowman, and he really loved doing the little icicles that came down. He's doing a great job on it today and really enjoying himself.
There's a lot of decision making that has to happen. They are looking at the piece. They are making decisions about what materials they want to use, what color they're going to use, how they're going to visually describe the image through color, through line, through shape. All of these things are cognitive skills. So in that way, it's really stimulating for them cognitively, and they are engaging in a wider process of creativity, so they're understanding and learning about the creative process at large. So that's the immediate benefit of engagement. Longer range, again, that sense of accomplishment, that sense of purpose and achievement, a sense of belonging. So all of that shapes that sense of social wellness and enhances their quality of life, and that's something that they take with them into their lives outside of the actual Alzheimer's Society.
Introducing this art class has also given him another outlet that he's able to come here, enjoy the people that are here, enjoy the other couples, some of the other couples that are painting together. It's a really great experience for Dad. We find coming here to the art classes a joyful experience.
Before they leave here, we actually plan the next paint afternoon. So the next time that we're gonna all come together and meet, we're able to write it down. Everybody who's here is able to write it in their date book, so they're ready to go the next time.
All the paintings that Dad has done, we have a little mantle put up in the kitchen and we display them. And oftentimes when I've put the freshest one up, he'll say, "Oh, you've got to take your painting home with you." And I'll tell him, "No, Dad, that's your creation. That's your little masterpiece." And he'll say, "No." For sure, he's done a really, really, really great job at them.
When the participants leave, they are feeling so proud of their masterpiece they've created here. They can't wait to get home and display it. A lot of them already even have ideas of where they're going to be putting it up in their houses. So just to show it off to other family members and visitors that come through the door, it's beautiful. They leave smiling and can't wait to come back.
You could see the pride on their faces with what they've created and how they're carrying their work out. It's really an incredible thing to see and to experience.
I would encourage anyone who has a family member with Alzheimer's to come on down here, bring them in, and experience the benefits of this lovely little paint afternoon that the Alzheimer's Society has offered to us.
The arts can improve their quality of life. People can thrive living well with dementia and connect with their communities.
Up next, we're going to take a look at the Volunteer Visitor Program. This program enhances our recreational therapy program and improves the quality of life of people affected by Alzheimer's disease. The Volunteer Visitor Program provides one-on-one social and recreational interaction with people that are still living in their own homes that have Alzheimer's disease or another dementia.
The Volunteer Visitor Program, it really enhances our recreation therapy program. It allows us to reach so many more clients that we wouldn't be able to reach in the community without it.
Families like the Devon family benefit from visits from Doug, an Alzheimer's Society volunteer visitor who visits with Marin on a weekly basis. One of the activities that they enjoy during the colder weather is to watch curling at the Community First Curling Club.
It is a most enjoyable experience. You get to know the clients you're working with on a very personal level, and the joy in seeing the stimulation that they get from the experience is a very, very worthwhile.
Doug listens to Dad, respects Dad, and Dad feels like his voice is being heard and that the things that he is saying are valuable.
You can't get any closer to helping someone that has the disease for a volunteer position than being a volunteer visitor. What you get out of it as a volunteer, and also what the individual that has the disease and their families. It's so incredible that relationships are formed, and the person that has the disease is so looking forward to that visit.
It's like a source of comfort for us knowing that someone else is there that cares about Dad. I know that if something has changed, that one of them, Heather or Doug, will give me a call. They have been so supportive and loving and caring, and that's the biggest thing for our family.
It really makes a difference in not only their physical and emotional well-being and their mental state of mind, but it also really assists the caregivers and the families with knowing that somebody else is going in the home and that there's another set of eyes going in to see if their loved one needs anything. It also helps them live well independently with dementia.
I got a 10.
And a 20 for 2.
30.
Go. Mern is a conversationalist. He loves to chat. We do that over cribbage. We do that when we travel here and there around the city. He's a boater, and we enjoy going down to the marina or the locks or the waterfront just to see what's going on. So there's an endless supply of things that interest this gentleman, and I'm just along for the ride.
You can see with Doug being the volunteer visitor, they both look forward to those visits, and they both light up, and they really look forward to it every day.
I absolutely encourage families out there to give the Alzheimer's Society a call. Reach out, get the help. Also, if you wish to volunteer, do it. Just go out and do it. It's a great opportunity to help and love and care for someone.
Unfortunately, there's a very long waiting list. There's over 80 people on this waiting list, so we're in need of volunteer visitors. There is some criteria that's involved. You would apply for the position. I would do a quick interview with you just to find out about you, what your interests are, and if it's a good fit for you.
I just have a few questions for you, and I've looked over your volunteer information form.
If you would like to become a volunteer visitor for the local Alzheimer Society, please give us a call and contact us or email us. Let us know of your interest in volunteering. We would then set up a time to meet at the office for a brief interview, which helps us to get to know you and your interests, which helps us provide the best match for you and the person affected by Alzheimer's disease. We have some volunteer information forms that we would ask you to fill out before we meet and would ask you to bring 3 references with you. We also require a current police check, and we would give you that form at the meeting.
And I'll be in touch once reference checks and police checks come back. Then we'll be able to get you started on all the training.
Once you are accepted as a volunteer in this program, we would provide you with 3 hours of training before you are matched with someone with Alzheimer's disease. The coordinator of the program would accompany you on your first visit to introduce you to the person you will be visiting and their family if they are also living in the home. The local Alzheimer's Society is in need of volunteers who can commit to a minimum of 1 year, but we would ultimately want the volunteer to follow the person as they journey with Alzheimer's disease.
If you're wavering, if you're out there in the community wondering what volunteer experience might be there for you, and you like people, this is something that you should look at very, very closely, because it's not a big time involvement, but it has a tremendous impact, I think, for both the client, family, and you. So don't miss it.
If you're interested in becoming a volunteer to help get our wait list down, please give me a call at the Alzheimer's Society. I can go over everything with you. The phone number is 705-942-2195. Or you can email me as well. I can go over all the facts with you and answer any questions that you have, and you'll be making such a difference in someone's life. First Link is a program here at the local Alzheimer's Society that's offered to families that are affected by Alzheimer's disease. It links people up with services early so that they're better able to navigate the healthcare system.
Meeting someone like Joan and Dennis, and many other people that I've met over the years, has made my role as First Link coordinator extremely fulfilling.
I don't know how we would have managed without using some of the resources that the Alzheimer's Society here in Sault Ste. Marie. Our first contact was with Kathy, and she's such a sweet, kind, came into our home and assessed my husband Dennis. And all it was done with tact and just a very caring attitude directed at him and me also.
So it's important for the Alzheimer's Society to touch base with families and people with dementia early on in the disease progress so that we can get the education started, supports put in place. Often it's very difficult for families to ask for help. Even though they may have been told about the Alzheimer's Society and that they could call us for support, they don't call, and we end up not hearing from them until they're in crisis. Once a family is in crisis, it's very hard to quickly access supports, get the education that's required. So it's important that we reach out early to avoid that.
Because of Kathy's introduction and suggestions, like the suggestion to get a will and a power of attorney. It was suggested that we come to the Alzheimer's organization facility itself and take advantage of some of the resources here.
People who jump on board with us early, they get the support, the education, get involved in our programs. They develop this competency and this resilience along the course of the Alzheimer's or dementia journey, and they do better as caregivers. Long-term care placement can sometimes be deferred because they're more competent, with their caregiving.
I personally come to the caregiver group once a month, and that's invaluable also. Kathy is there quite often. She's a world of knowledge that how do you know all this stuff yourself individually? You don't know. And coming here, the resources are invaluable.
First Link program not only connects people to support within the Alzheimer's Society, but also to supports that they may need in the community. Supports such as day programs, transportation, Meals on Wheels, in-home support, those types of things. I like to think of the First Link program as like throwing out a lifeline to the people that we support, and I actually have had people tell me that very thing. They're out there and they're floundering and they don't know where to go for support and they don't know how to deal with this disease, and we can help them essentially by throwing them a lifeline.
This whole new adventure in our life has been a shared adventure. That when Dennis met with Kathy, I was there. When we went to the geriatric clinic again for an assessment, I was there. When we had the psychiatrist from Toronto, Dr. Lockman, who was a very kind man, I was there. Everything that went on, when we went to the lawyer, we were together. So everything that was happening, we shared it. That there was nothing hidden. It was all very much up front. And the reason that I was there, another one, was that he couldn't drive anymore.
I think with Joan and Dennis, it helped them on many levels. I remember we had to have the discussion about Dennis losing his license, and we were able to have a very comfortable, supportive conversation around it, and I believe that it helped them in that situation. I had many discussions with them about different programs that they could participate in here.
It was also suggested that Dennis might be interested in going to a day away program, and we did do that, and we went to the VON day away program. He went 3 times a week and he loved it. He just loved it.
Joan has done the education, she's attended support groups, she's now an advocate for other people with dementia. They attended Minds in Motion, so I suggested day program for Dennis, and they also took me up on that and got him involved.
Dennis didn't have to feel any discomfort at all about what was happening to him, because it was continuing to happen. That it didn't stop, but it just made the last couple of years before he had to go to the nursing home, it made it very pleasant for him with all the knowledge and information that was shared with us, that kept his life running with some happiness in it.
What I see with Joan and Dennis's story is that they got all the support that they needed, and they didn't go into crisis. Dennis is in long-term care, but they didn't hit a crisis mode because Joan knew how to navigate the system. We were able to help her navigate the system. She knew when it was time. She knew how to be involved in that process. So I think for them, it was less stressful throughout the journey, and as Joan mentioned, it was pleasant for Dennis most of the time.
We can work hard enough to make life easier for those who are dealing with the situation right now, or get enough research done to start to see if there's some kind of cure or at least slow down of this disease. That my husband went to the nursing home last September, walking, talking, feeding himself. Just generally being able to run his life with a little bit of help. And now he can't do any of those things. So it's a devastating disease, and if you're having to deal with Alzheimer's, come here, because they're certainly a great help.
Thank you for spending some time with us today, learning about some of the programs and services, as well as volunteer opportunities here at the local Alzheimer's Society. I'm Bea. We'll see you next time.